What's up, peoples? I go by the name of John Dell, aka King PeeWee'j. I'm from a small town in upstate New York called Elmira. I'm the son of Jeanette Dumas and Mikey Jones, and the grandson of the late John Pee-wee Dumas, the father of Jaisir, Jase, Jakai, and the late Josias. And the reason I'm here talking to y'all today is because of the last 2.5 years of my life. And I say that because I could probably write 20 books, probably make 5 movies off the last 2.5 years of my life. 2.5 years ago, I moved into my late grandfather's house my family owns. Now, the taxes were behind and they were getting ready to take the property. So I had 2 jobs at the time, good credit. So I decided, to take out a loan and pay for the back taxes or whatever. And stay in the house and fix it up, while I'm living there. 2 months into living there, I decided to give my younger brother a surprise birthday party. He was turning 25 at the time. My brother Zell. The party was a success. 4 days later, it was St. Patrick's Day, so I decided to have another party. And one thing led to the next. Next thing you know, I'm having parties every Friday and Saturday. My late grandfather used to go by the name of Pee-wee, so I decided to name the little situation, the parties and all that, PeeWee'j. But I had no idea what was to come. PeeWee'j would change the landscape of Elmira. PeeWee'j would change the idea of what a party is supposed to be. PeeWee'j would change a whole lot of lives. So for the first 3-4 months, everything was good. But of course, negativity follows you wherever you go, especially in those type of environments and those type of situations. So a good thing started to take a turn. July 2016 was the first time PeeWee'j turned violent. It was a shooting. I was a little late getting ready for the party, and next thing you know, I hear gunshots. Mind you, I paid for security. I paid cooks. We had food and all that. We had drinks. I paid people to handle the drinks. It's sad because everyone was getting paid, but I had people stealing from me. I had people lying to me. They just messed up a good thing, But this is just the beginning. Now, someone I know, close to the family, got shot because security wasn't doing their job. The police come, search the house, take me downtown, question me. Mind you, I wasn't nowhere to be found. I was upstairs getting ready. This all happened before the party even started. That was the first ever incident. So that dies down. Tell the police I don't really know. I don't know what went down, I don't know what happened, which was the honest truth. But even if it wasn't, I don't deal with the police. You know what I'm saying? So I continue to have parties because it became an addiction at that point in time. Really an addiction. I had 2 jobs at the time, but I was trying to balance everything, so I wasn't getting much sleep. you know. The party would just grow and grow and grow. Some nights it'll be 100 people in there. In a house. 120 people. In a house. You could barely move. Everybody screaming, PeeWee'j! Like, it just became a trend. And the addiction began to grow. So I would think of themes and different things to add to the party to make it better. You know, I would add them later down the road. I would add a microphone. And that's when my thirst for entertainment and hosting was born. Once I added that microphone, I was able to expose my personality, becoming King PeeWee'j. A few months later, about 3 or 4 months later, another shooting. I just couldn't understand it. And then that's when I should have shut it down. I should have knew they don't respect me. They don't respect the good I'm trying to do for them. They don't respect any of this. Cancel it for you get yourself in a position you really can't get yourself out of or you really don't want to be in. But the addiction was stronger than logical thinking. I'm too far in at this point. The money's good. I'm having fun. I'm in control. I'm basically the boss of my own organization. So I continue to have parties. There's fights, pistol whippings, arguments. I'm still getting robbed by my cooks, my tenders, all different types of things going on. Mind you, there's more good than bad, but the bad is what's causing the attention from the law, from neighbors, from all this different stuff that's going on. You know what I mean? So, as all this stuff is going on, I continue to keep having parties. I have people close to me saying, well, maybe you should stop, and this is happening. I don't think it's a good idea to have a party, but they don't understand I couldn't wait till Friday or Saturday to have another party. My soul was yearning for it. The thirst was real to have a party. I really felt like a king. You transform a house into a club. Literally felt like a club. I mean, people from Binghamton, people from Syracuse, people from Rochester, people from Buffalo, people from all the surrounding cities would come all the way to Elmira just to go to PeeWee'j. And that was a good feeling. By that point, I'm so addicted that that's all I think about is the party. So, we're in the year 2. New Year's. There's a shootout in front of the house. A couple cars get shot up. My car gets grazed. Mind you, the whole property is surveillanced. So it's caught on camera. Here come the police again. Here I go, going downtown again. And they're just like, man, you got to stop having parties, man. And I'm like, why? It's not me that's causing the problem. It's people that's coming there. I didn't ask them, but they're telling me you're creating the environment. If you don't create the environment, these things can't happen. And I'm telling them, like, because I'm so far into my addiction, you guys are parked outside all the time. How don't you catch the people who are coming in? Or how are these people able to be walking around freely with weapons and all that? And you, like, what's going on? You trying to come at me? Well, that's because you're the one throwing the parties. Somebody's going to die in your house, and it's going to be all on you. We're trying to prevent it. The police really don't like me, because I don't deal with the police. I don't help them do their job. I don't like them. You see what I'm saying? And I don't snitch. Take it how you want it. Do your job. Do what you gotta do. I'm not gonna assist you in it. It's just not what I do. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so still having parties. A couple months later, after New Year's, I began to make music. Started making music. Me and my homeboy Ribo, you know, he brought his little studio in the PeeWee'j. We started making music and stuff like that. So I feel like we're going in a better direction. Everything's seeming good for a while. Everything's slowing down, dying down. Then, here you go. June comes. Mind you, every time I have a party, the police are posted there. At this point, the police probably done been to my house about 50 times. They said they never had a situation like this before. Like, we get more cop calls to this address than any of the bars in the whole city. Mind you, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I asked for. I would search people, make sure they're not bringing in any weapons. Every single person. That's what they were doing. Going into the little rooms in the house and opening the window. One person will go outside, pass them a weapon through the window, come back to the door to get searched and say, search me. They don't have a weapon on them because they sent it through the window. So I would have to start screwing down the windows so they can't pass things through the windows. Then they started hiding it up in their girlfriend's stuff. Like, yeah, it got crazy over there at PeeWee'j. So I'm thinking to myself, like, how can I switch this brand into a legitimate situation to where I'm protected, everyone around me is protected, and I don't have to deal with the law. I don't have to deal with people sneaking this in and doing all that different stuff. And the process of getting to where I needed to be to do that, I wasn't really interested in at the point in time because my addiction was so strong. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to take the necessary steps because I felt like, why, when I already got a situation now? Not thinking logically. It's crazy. So, another shooting in June of 2017. By this time, it's about 3 or 4 shootings. About 20 fights. And it's only a year and a half up until this point. What, a year and 3 months up until this point? And it's just like the neighbors are concerned. Neighbors keep calling the cops. The music's too loud. I got about 10, 12 noise violation tickets. And it's just like, why haven't I stopped at this point in time? And it's the addiction. It's the addiction. Getting on that mic every night, screaming, PeeWee'j! We live. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it was just, I dreamed about it. I felt like a celebrity. It was crazy. So I began to Google PeeWee'j, and I seen all this different stuff popping up about Pee Wee Herman, you know, the little show, PeeWee'j, and all this different PeeWee'j stuff. So since my middle name was John Dell, my grandfather's name was John, I said I had to change this name to make it a little more unique. So I decided to remove the S off the end of apostrophe S and put apostrophe J, which changed it from PeeWee'j to PeeWee'j. Now it's mine. Now I feel like there's nothing else similar. And now I can go out and start having parties at venues and doing it in a more legitimate way. But that didn't work out. Bar owners, because the same type of people come in. Bar owners will shut my parties down early. Then that same addiction, I will go right back to the spot, PeeWee'j, and open it up. At this point now, though, I'm security. I'm working the door because I'm tired of paying people to let people in with weapons still. Still keep seeing people coming in with weapons. People coming up to me complaining about other people. They seeing other people in the party with weapons. So I start working the door. On top of being the cook now. Because people are complaining about the chicken. The chicken's not good. The chicken's not done. The chicken's not seasoned. So I'm the cook. I'm working the door. I'm security. I'm all of this. But not thinking to myself, this is too much for you to handle by yourself. But the addiction was stronger than all of that. That addiction, it was worse than heroin. I was addicted to throwing parties. And there was just a point around August of 2017 where I said, man, I got to start having parties somewhere else. The house became the hottest place in Elmira. I mean, they wouldn't even send cabs there. No cab company would come to that address. That's how bad it got. The police would park there and stay there for 7-8 hours, just parked outside, telling people there's no party here and, oh, you can't go there and all this different stuff. It just was sad. At this point in time, my reputation with the city was destroyed. The law began to disrespect me, disregard me and my rights as a citizen. So, me being me, because I don't take disrespect too kindly, I said, fuck the police. And I just kept having parties. Yeah, I moved it and had it, started having parties other places, you know, throughout the year and a half or whatever I was throwing parties. Or I would have PeeWee'j in the boonies. That was about like 20 minutes away, you know, at one of my homeboys' cribs. And I would have PeeWee'j at this house and that house and different. But it still was having the same problem. The same type of people were coming. So I'm like, yo, I'm telling myself, no, I gotta stop. Because somebody's gonna get killed and it's gonna be all my fault. So at this time, I'm still going back and forth to court. I got about 3 criminal nuisances. I got about 15 noise violations. I got 1 resisting arrest. It got to the point to where my name was down. I was well known by the whole borough. My entire name. Because I went downtown so much in the last year and a half or whatever. It was sad. But the popularity and the addiction had my cravings at an all-time high. All I could still think about was a party the next weekend coming up. Even though I was in all that trouble with the law, still haven't been thrown in jail or anything, which was a blessing, I still had a craving to have parties. And it's like, what more has to happen? So eventually they give me a year probation, and under the terms that if I violate, I will have to do at least 8 months in jail, which I've never been in jail before. So I'm currently on probation right now. I get off in December. And I'm just praying that that addiction doesn't come back. Because some people just don't learn. And I don't want to be one of those people. I got off easy. A lot of bad things happened at PeeWee'j. And just sitting here thinking about it right now, it's just 2 years PeeWee'j was going on, and I got 2 babies in 2 years. Jase and Jakai. Jaisir was already born, my oldest son. He was about 6 when all this started. And he's from a different woman. I met Tynasia throughout PeeWee'j. She's the mother of my 2 youngest babies. We're still currently together, by the way. But yeah, like, and I still get people hitting me up to this day like, you should have a party, you should throw a party. What? Bye! That's another thing that was born at PeeWee'j. Bye! I would say it loud on the mic. And that just means, you know, get out my face with that. Man, bye. You know? And that's something that I still use to this day, you know? Some people take it offensive. Some people laugh. That was also a trend too. Everybody saying, bye! It's how you say. You got to say it right, though. It's bye! You know what I'm saying? And people really feel it when you say it, but you got to say it at the right moment. You know? Like, bye! And that's just the way it is. But I plan on making a movie, you know, centered around a love story. Me and Tynasia. Me moving to PeeWee'j. My 2 children. And all the things that transpired, you know. A book coming soon. I also want to get into music. Entertainment, period, you know. I'm an entertainer, man. I could dance. I'm not shy. Good on the mic, you know. And like I told y'all, I go by the name of King PeeWee'j. And, you know, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. You know what I mean? And I want y'all to subscribe to that. Stay tuned. It's never going to be a dull moment. You know what I mean? We're going to let this thing continue. Bye!